Hello, everybody, and welcome to another My Music. You've had a lot of My Musics this week. You've been lucky, really lucky, haven't you? I am going to speak to my friend here with the bobble hat, who I've spoken to before. But first of all, before we have that, we're going to have a little video all about Analog Trash. Now, if for those of you who haven't picked up on this yet, Analog Trash are the new sponsor of this show, and they have a supporters club. You can go to their website, analogtrash.com, and if you join the supporters club from a minimum of $4.99 a month, you get absolutely everything that anybody's ever recorded. What a fantastic bargain that is. But first, let's just watch this.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Hello, and we're back. Léanie, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Graham.
Good,
Very well, yeah.
good. Now you've to come and talk to us this afternoon. You've raced across town. You've broken the speed limit, no doubt.
Yeah.
You may have crossed a few red lights.
Absolutely.
It's all okay. The dog was barking just before we came on air, but
Yeah, he's out in the garden now.
but he's ready for his nuts to be taken off this week.
Yeah, he's been booked in for some neutering action.
So there we go. That will calm.
That'll
calm
shut
the.
him up.
That will calm the little beast down. What's the dog's name?
Luigi.
Luigi.
Yeah, he's an
Oh.
Italian greyhound whippet type thing, a little scrawny, skinny thing, but he's very cute.
Oh.
And my cat's just joined us as well. Hi,
And
Ninja.
what's the cat called? Ninja, not Mario. Then.
No, not Mario. Here's Ninja. She won't stay for very long.
Hello, Ninja. Oh,
Yeah,
It's
all
a
right,
it's
that's
a it's a family affair.
Yeah.
Since I last saw you, you've produced another piece of music, which is always wonderful.
Yeah. When I
And
last saw you, was that after my third album?
When I last saw you, you had just released Ascension Heights with
Right.
your friend,
Yeah.
and you were coming live from your garden, which has a very beautiful Zen-like feel to it. Yes.
Yes, but I'm
yeah.
not in that garden anymore. As you
Oh,
can tell,
yes.
I'm in the midst of trying to set up a new studio. We've moved. My partner and I have moved to his old family home near Hawley, and it's set in 3 acres, and it's beautiful here.
Oh,
The
fantastic.
house needs a lot of work. We're still chinced right up to the eyeballs, but I've got all my music here, and we've got, just gorgeous land outside. It doesn't matter what the house looks like. We're really, really happy here, and it's great for making music. No neighbours to annoy.
How old's the house? What sort of
The house
period
is
is it?
not old. It's sort of 1930s.
Oh,
but
right,
it's
not too bad.
old country cottage. It is slightly falling down, but
Right.
we're going to slightly prop it up again when I've
Yeah.
a few kidneys, internal organs for sale. Bargain. My liver's price.
If anyone would like a musical kidney,
Yeah.
because obviously if you have one of your kidneys transplanted into somebody, they immediately take on your musical genius.
Yeah.
But that's the selling point, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Although they wouldn't want my right kidney because that got kicked by a horse when I was 11 and it's a bit shriveled. Maybe let's not sell the kidney. Can I keep my kidneys, please?
No, keep your kidneys. Instead, I'll tell you what people could do is they could pay a little bit of money for your music. That would be a marvelous idea.
But that would be better, wouldn't it? Yes.
It would, especially as it's tremendous. Your voice has never sounded better, I feel, than on this latest tunage.
Thank you. Loads of people have said that.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonder why? Why do you think that is?
I think I'm finally feeling like I'm finding my feet musically.
Yeah.
I'm happier with my songs. I did
Trying
get my
less
teeth,
hard.
I did get my teeth done, not veneers or anything, but I had them just straightened a bit
Right.
and made a bit nicer. And I think it's given me confidence when I'm singing. And I feel like it's done some good. I'm not ashamed to sort of open my mouth and sing now, because I've got,
That's
no
cool, isn't it? Hey,
Yeah.
there you go. There's a budding music tip for you from
Yeah. Get your teeth done.
get your teeth
Yeah.
done.
No, I mean, I've always liked my teeth because they're good, healthy teeth. I've never had any fillings, and they've always been quite straight, but they just were a bit small.
That's because you've avoided sugar, my dear. That's what that is.
So I just had them sort of neatened up a bit, and I didn't really come on this show to talk about my dental work, but I definitely think it's given me confidence with my singing.
It's the confidence bit that we're really drilling into there, but other than your teeth, which haven't been drilled into. What's the
Good.
Yeah, thank you. What's the song about?
Which one?
Your latest single.
Latest one.
Yeah.
The latest song was inspired by a friend of mine rang up and said, I've got this this could go on very long. I'm going to try and shorten this story down. A friend of a friend had this experience of feeling like, I think it was vivid dreams and visions where he felt like he'd been in another life.
Yeah.
And it kind of involved World War II, and I'll cut a very long story short because I don't know the full story yet, but I got given the bones of this idea. It turns out that when he traveled to where this battle was that he believes he was involved in, he found lots of links, and it's a story that has now been taken up by quite a well-known author. I'm not going to mention the author's name, but she's written a book about it called Wait for Me, and it's a romance and a love story that sort of spans life and death. And I just loved the idea of this story that had been kind of passed on to me through a sort of an old family friend. And I thought, well, because I'm starting to gear my music more towards possible use in TV and film, and this book might be being made into a film or a TV series, I'm not sure yet. I just thought, well, I'm going to take that as an idea and write a song about it.
Do you know what? I was actually just about to say that. What you've done there is incredibly clever. You've reverse engineered the whole situation. So what you've done is you've written the song to the film, which isn't a book yet, but will be a book, which will then be a film, which will then have your song in it. That's
possibly.
No, of course.
That's my aim.
Inevitably. All right. We'll make it happen. Whatever.
Do it.
Yeah, I think that's
brilliant. It's a love. So it's a love song from beyond the grave, and I kind of wrote it specifically so that it's quite vague in that it could be from the person who's already passed away, or it could be sung by the person who's who has lost the person. So it's kind of nicely vague, and hopefully will mean lots to anybody who's kind of lost somebody, or still grieving, or just wants a bit of reassurance that a proper true love can last forever.
And of course, you recently lost your father. Did it help cathartically in any way to write this song?
Yeah, I think so, because I'd already written the song by the time he passed away, but then singing it and working on the final production, I think that was kind of before, but I knew that he was on his way out, bless him. And certainly hearing it now, it's really emotional. He'd had a long battle with dementia, so it felt like the final goodbye, because I'd kind of already said goodbye to his spirit, really. It's like his spirit had kind of already gone.
Yeah.
And obviously the song Ascension Heights was about him. So it was it was a nice song to have to play at the time when he went.
But that's the power of songs, isn't it? You know, the
Yeah.
song has a meaning at the point where you write it, but then other people, even including yourself, can actually then pick that song up, and it resonates in other areas. It has a life outside of the original story. So that's,
I hope so. Yeah. And I always, I mean, I know some people sort of don't like miserable songs, but I find sad songs make me feel really good.
Yeah.
I love a sad song. So
I think there's plenty of us out there that have, you know, enjoyed miserable sounding songs over the years to make us feel good.
Yeah.
You know?
Every now and then I'll write a
Hi, all Cure fans.
On the whole, I tend to, you know, I tend to sort of err on the side of melancholia, but I do have some happy songs. There's a happy song coming soon.
Yeah. Which are easier, happy songs or sad songs for you to write?
Happy. Well,
are they?
They have. No, maybe they're not. I don't know.
I always found it easier to write in sort of minor chords and.
Yeah, I think I like writing in minor chords, but I suppose if I get a sort of a funny idea in my head, I'll just write a little folky tune. Sometimes the happy songs come out a lot quicker, put it that way.
Yeah.
They might take longer to get there in my head, but then I'll write them quicker. Maybe that's the answer.
I always struggled with it with happy songs, in as much as if you created a little melody that was really quite happy, etc., you just wondered whether it was a bit too twee.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that? Are you just like da 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 da, and you just think
why? That's why when I write a happy song, it has to be a little bit silly. So that's why Silicon Valley, off my first album, is about exploding breast implants, and then you've got Everyone's Ugly in the Back of a Spoon.
Which is true, actually, folks.
Songs, they tend to be a little bit either acerbic or jokey, because I can't just be, because I've got quite a little twee voice as well. If I just sing a happy love song with my little girly voice, I would want to punch myself repeatedly in the face, and that wouldn't be a good idea. So, yeah. Your voice
actually is quite big on this latest song. Did you change anything in the production?
I went to a friend of mine who I've met through a sort of a music industry networking group that I'm a member of, and they're great. They're called the Supergroup Pro. And this guy, Chris Mars, is lovely fella. And he's a singer-writer. He was with the Flock of Seagulls. So, you know, he's done some great stuff, and he's a producer.
Excuse me a minute. Excuse me. Sorry. I just need a photograph of you. Okay, thank you. Or something to remind me.
And I went to Chris and I said, do you fancy, I want to make this song very film-like and cinematic in its production. I've heard some of the stuff you've done. Do you think you'd like to get involved? And he said yes. And he lives up the road in Ealing, so he's only an hour away or 45 minutes or something. And he's got, I've just got cheap old mics here, which do the job for recording at home, but he's got a Neumann mics, and it was a very sexy microphone. And I think I did use Neumann's with Mark Gardner at OX4 on the previous stuff, but I don't know. I think it was just something in the way that we were working in this little room at Chris's house. It's not a big studio. It was very sort of small and homely feeling, and I think I just felt really, really comfortable. And he was just really patient, and we went through. I did do quite a few vocal takes because there's some high notes that are quite, you can hear in my voice that there are breaks where I'm slightly losing it, but I like those. I like all that kind of flawed thing because it's an emotional song.
It's not flawed at all. It's emotive.
Thank you, Graham.
No, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You always say the best things.
People don't realise how much of a difference mics make. Just going technical for a minute, but they do. I mean, it's one of the things that a lot of people get wrong early on is because if you're working with cheap microphones and whatever else, quite often you will sound crap. because cheap microphones make your voice sound crap. But if you find a really lovely microphone that's right for your voice, and that's that the microphones you're talking about are quite warm, aren't they?
Yeah,
they kind of bring out the it's not really a technical term, but they bring out the warmth of your voice, and that's really important.
Yeah, I think so. And I wish I could remember the actual model, but I need to ask Chris what it was, and that's going to be saved up for. So,
well, Chris, when you're watching this back, can you just put the model in for all of the geeks out there that actually want to know?
Marzi baby, Chris Mars, his name is
Chris Mars.
Tell us what your mic is.
Yeah,
he's lovely. He's a really nice guy, and
if you push it, they might give you another one.
Well, Neumann, you know, if you're out there, I'd be happy to be a sponsor. No, what is it called? An endorsee.
An endorsee, yeah. They sponsor you. They give you a microphone and you use it. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I know. I've known singers that have slept with their microphones. They're so precious about them. Ninja in the background, by the way, is giving us all a great demonstration of how to play silent piano, which is brilliant. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's a mouse.
Why are you trying to play in my bed, Mummy? It's actually my piano. Yeah. No, she doesn't care.
So what are we going to see from you this year in terms of music?
I've got some more songs on the go, which I've got to start recording soon. I'm still very much trying to get this up and running and getting my head around Logic. But I'm definitely, that's another thing Chris has done with me is he has shown me how to work on my vocals from home a bit more. So I'm definitely polishing up my production skills and just getting my head around the engineering side of things, which is exciting because it means I can experiment more at home before I then go and finish it off with a producer. So I've got some more songs on the go. Don't have that many gigs booked up. Possible one at the Camden Club to be announced.
Oh, nice.
I will be playing at the Eel Pie in Richmond. We are the people who run the Eel Pie Club, really lovely people, Gina and Warren, are putting on a tribute gig for my father. That's going to be on the 8th of June. So
fantastic. Whereabouts is that in Richmond? I know Richmond relatively well. So you come out of the station.
Oh God, I don't know. It's just Eel Pie Island, isn't it? Eel Pie.
I think it's left out, right out of the station. Anyway, it's in Richmond. There you go. Yeah.
And it's gonna. I'll play a few songs at that, and then I think hopefully we'll have friends and family that are also going to get up and play. They've got an amazing house band. I'm hoping that John Iden, who actually is the most recent lead singer of the Yardbirds, who was a great friend of my father's, and he's another lovely, very talented songwriter. He's hopefully going to come and play. He's definitely coming anyway. I'm going to get him up on stage to play because he's a fantastic vocalist and guitarist. So I'll be playing at that. And other than that, I might be stripping a bit of wallpaper and replacing curtains.
Yeah. You're going to be discovering what the acoustics of that room are really like.
Yeah. And then possibly moving to a different room.
And then wondering why you chose that room.
Yeah.
In the first place. Has it got high ceilings or low ceilings?
They're not high.
They're not just high. Okay.
Normal.
Normal size.
I mean, they're high to me because I'm 5'1", but
yeah. Well, you see, I live in a Victorian property, and when we moved here, of course, you know, going from a sort of modern place, it was like suddenly the ceilings were, you know, up there.
Yeah.
Somewhere,
no, this is lowish ceilings.
So that's not so bad then.
No.
So a splattering of gigs, some more songs to record.
Yeah. I'm taking each thing very slowly. People keep saying, I can't wait for the album, but I'm just not thinking in terms of albums because they're stressful to produce. It's a lot easier just to put out a song here and a song there. And I'm just enjoying it, really.
Yeah. You know, well, I was talking to a young artist earlier this week about that. And actually, because a lot of young people now aren't going straight for the album. And I think that's quite sensible in a way. I think it's sensible to just focus on one thing at a time and you know, really sort of just develop as an artist as you go.
Yeah.
I think sometimes though in that journey, maybe an album just comes, and you just, if an album comes, it comes because you've suddenly got a body of work that you think, actually, this is a group of things that make sense to go together, or that I, you know, I've got a really clear vision for what this is. And that's the best way for an album to go, I think. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel that, you know, some people are just trying to get an album out by putting together a group of songs, whereas
I think if I do, but it might be a sort of retrospectively put together, where I think actually those 3 singles plus this new bunch of songs, or even an extended EP, I don't know yet. I'm just feeling my way. But
or someone might make a film, and then they might say, actually, can you come and write the soundtrack?
That would be awesome. Oh, that would be so cool. I have found recently, especially with my year at the Songwriting Academy, I've always thought that I have to wait for my songs to come to me. But one thing I've learned is that I can be inspired. Like that Wait For Me song, as soon as I'd heard this story, I thought I'm going to write the song. And that song came really, really quickly. So, you know, I think I'm just going to go with book titles, film titles, and carry on being inspired about stuff like that. You know, I can't write miserable love songs anymore because I'm happily with somebody. So I need more inspiration from elsewhere, because I'm not writing a happy love song. There's too many major chords. I'm not having it.
So maybe that's what you do. Maybe, you know, if I can be so bold, maybe what you do is you actually create a faux, if you like, motion picture soundtrack. But you know, you kind of think there's this part of the film, there's this part of the film, there's this part of the film, or it's a collection of films, you know, and it's like director's cut, you know.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and it just you bring together all these film bits in music, and then that brings it together. What a lovely collective idea that would be. There you go. Will we see you try anything different in terms of style of music? I mean, you say you're getting there with your voice now. You're kind of feeling more comfortable with your voice since the teeth incident. But you know, would we ever see you, you know, take to like some different instrumentation at all, or you know, obviously films sometimes leads to scoring and orchestral stuff and whatever, but
that sounds quite frightening.
It does, doesn't it?
But yes, certainly more cinematic stuff. I quite like the idea of also going back and doing a bit of folky guitar and vocal stuff. I don't really know. There is a song that I've co-written that's turned into a bit of a dance anthem. I don't think it's out there yet. I think they're looking for another singer, maybe. I co-wrote it with a guy called Andrew Rollins and Ross Bell, who was a fellow student on the Songwriting Academy. We wrote this song, and it was supposed to be a sort of an indie type thing. And then it's turned into one of those. But I think the nice thing that's happened with that is that Andrew Rollins, he runs a publishing company with Randy Jackson, and they want to include it on there. They're going to publish it. So that's great. I mean, it's probably not a song I would release myself, but it was fun writing it.
That is tremendous. That is tremendous.
I'm definitely spreading my wings. I'm always happy to, you know, put my fingers in many pies. Put it that way.
I think that's great. I think the key is if you've got a potential dance thing, is to make it kind of open source once it goes out there as well, and allow the FLAC files to go out and let other people do their remixes of it, and then suddenly it goes mad, and then before you know it, you're in every single dance hall, every single club across the world.
Is that what you do then? You send out your FLAC files?
Yeah, you send out your FLAC files and let other people mix it. Yeah?
Okay, is that the same as stems in Logic?
Yeah, the same as stems. Yeah.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. We might
That's
need
the
to
way
talk
to
about
go.
that when we're not, you know, being
Yeah.
interested on interview. I need to talk to you about flax.
There we go. Creativity just happens. Absolutely, Susan. It really does. Listen,
Hello, Susan.
it's been an absolute, all the way from Canada, Susan. So yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you again. If people want to get a hold of your music, the best way as ever is to go to where?
Well, if you want to spend some money, feel free to go to Bandcamp. You can look up Léanie Kaleido for my songwriter stuff, you know, my solo stuff. Karamelien, who I should just mention, my lovely guitarist, Mark Foster, who's not here with me at the moment. Karamelien, we've got 3 singles out now, which is a little bit more groovy, a bit of a hip-hoppy bass thing going on. Yeah, so we're on all the platforms. You don't have to buy it. You could just stream it on Spotify. And if you stream it 1 million times, we might make a bit of money one day.
But don't do that.
No.
Buy it.
Yeah.
You know,
that was really lovely seeing Susan's name come up, but it's made me really nervous thinking, oh my God, there's actually people there.
There's actual real people that listen to these. Yeah, it's amazing. But actually it's been going very crazy on Twitter lately.
Right.
You know, it's been wonderful. I don't know whether you saw it this morning. I said, you know, mistakenly, I said, I've got hundreds of bands and artists in my inbox asking me to do interviews, and all of a sudden I got another 100. So it was just crazy. Yeah, but you know, I don't know why, but suddenly people want to be interviewed by Graham Coath. No idea.
Well,
no idea at all.
You not only come up with great ideas, but you teach people about FLAC files.
Yeah, I'm probably even wrong about that, but you know, somebody will you know tell me, yeah, it's actually technically it's this or whatever, and tell you that as well. But you certainly do need to share the raw kind of stem files, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And that's how suddenly it just goes mad. And I've seen it happen because Marillion did it, believe it or not. Even
really,
yeah, they did it. They shared one of their songs, stem files, out there. Everybody did a dance version of it, and some of it went mad.
Yeah,
and then they re-released it.
Oh, wow.
They released them. Yeah, it's the way.
Yeah,
there's
been some good ideas. There's another one where Beck released an album just of the sheet music, and then invited other artists and bands to interpret his songs.
Make it,
and that was amazing. Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. I think, you know, let's spread a little bit of creativity even within the creativity, and that's you know, that makes it even better. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I need to get a hat like that because I love this hat. It looks fantastic, and it's been really cold lately, isn't it? So
yeah, and I've been rushing about because it's half term this week. So that's I was a little bit late getting back for you, but I got here in the end. Well,
you did. Please go support Leanie's music. Go and download all of it and give her lots of money. And that way she can continue to do it. Do go and see her in Richmond at the pub, which what was the name of it again?
The Eel Pie Club.
The Eel Pie Club. Go.
June the 8th.
Have a great evening there. Buy her a drink, but not too many because she needs to play. Or wait until she's done her bit. And then, you know, I'll see you probably sometime later in the year when you've got a bit more to
let's do more of this.
Yeah, let's do another one.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure seeing you again.
You too,
look after yourself. Enjoy the new house.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the curtains and the
I hope it looks after you very well.
It will.
Bye for now.